I'll let you real quick just comment on his thing with the highest levels if you want to, but I also want to get into Eddie wants to you kind of brought it up on Joe Rogan yesterday about the flat earth and all that stuff. And
we can go to that. I've never had it explained to me in any way, shape, or form, and I'll just say we've all been on planes high enough, going to Asia or wherever, flying over the near the Arctic Circle and things like that, and seeing the curve of the earth. And I just find it very difficult to understand how a guy who's run more miles than all of us combined ever will, who's run over 100 ultras. He's done Badwater in Death Valley for 135 miles at 131
I'm pretty sure
degrees.
I ran off the edge.
He
of
would
the
have
earth
run
in
off the fucking edge
2015.
by now.
You have to, as far as being able to see the curvature of the Earth at 35,000 feet, like your average airline, you're talking about that. Well, Neil deGrasse Tyson was asked why these amateur balloons going up at 100,000 feet, amateur balloons with cameras, does the Earth appear to be flat? There's no curvature at 100,000 feet. And Neil deGrasse Tyson will tell you, he's the authority on astrophysics, right? He'll tell you, at 100,000 feet, we're still too low to see any curvature. The Earth is so big that even at 100,000 feet, you can't see curvature. That was Neil deGrasse Tyson's answer to why there's no curve at 100,000 feet. So when people say they see curvature at 35,000 feet, what they're seeing is the window at the edges, there's curves.
Yeah, but wouldn't Neil deGrasse Tyson also be one of the first people to say? Wouldn't Neil deGrasse Tyson also follow that up with saying unequivocally the Earth is round, though?
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So they're like pulling that one thing out of there, but that's
no.
not.
But what I'm saying is
And Neil deGrasse
I don't believe
Tyson,
shit he says.
Have you seen the surveillance video from the guy that just passed away? I can't remember.
Stephen Hawking.
Stephen Hawking's wheelchair camera took what?
And has anybody actually seen Gary Busey since Stephen Hawking passed away? Because I don't know, man.
Dude,
there's a
But there's
conspiracy theory
Neil
right there.
deGrasse
Those two
Tyson
guys
with
are
a
the
knife
same.
in front of him.
Stephen Hawking has had ALS he's the world's record holder for dudes with ALS. 50 years, the average person dies with ALS between 2 to 5 years. He lived 50 fucking years, and when he died, they still use that speak and spell voice. Why did they still use that speak and spell voice? Anyways,
here are the videos.
Before we get to that, you gotta understand that. Let me tell you my story first. When I've always been a conspiracy theorist. I don't trust shit.
Right.
But there's so many levels and there's so many different. There's the 9/11. There's JFK. There's the Gulf of Tonkin. There's all that shit, right? You got to understand that. First of all, the first time I heard of flat Earth being around, like today, was probably about 2 years ago on Joe Rogan's podcast. He was trying to make a point at how dumb people are, and he said, "Listen, dude, there's still people today that believe the Earth is flat, and you could watch this on video." I go, "What? What are they, Amish or something?" I go, people still believe the Earth is flat. It's fucking ridiculous. This was a couple years ago. I'm like in my 40s, right? A grown ass man, and then the podcast. An appearance later, he brought it up again. He goes, "Yeah, dude, remember, there's people that fucking think the fucking sun is 3,000 miles away." I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "And the Earth is flat." I go, "Fuck." I thought, oh, for sure, that's a CIA psyop. That's a distraction to get people away from the real conspiracies. That's what I thought. That's what everybody thinks when they first hear of it. Everybody thinks this. Nobody hears.
It's muddying the waters.
And that's what everybody thinks. So, anyways, then. Maybe 6 months later, a year later, I'm talking conspiracy theories, 9/11 type shit or whatever, chemtrails or whatever, at school. And one of my buddies, Manny, goes, "Hey, you ever look into flat Earth?" And I looked at him like, "You dumb motherfucker." Like, I felt like I lost a soldier because Manny was he's a super conspiracy theorist. And I go, "Dude, please don't ever fucking break." It broke my heart.
Fucking Manny.
Fredo. Are you super religious or something? What's wrong with you? And he goes, "You got to look into it, man." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
So you started looking.
So then another one of my students later goes, "Hey, man," his name's Ernest. He goes, "Hey, you ever look into flat Earth?" I go, "Fuck, not another fucking moron."
Well, see, all your students are high too, so it's all fucked up in there.
No. So anyways, So he looked at me. I'm like, and I said, dude, that is the dumbest shit you could ever say. And he said, listen, I got a master's in engineering. Look into it. And I'm like, pfft. So we started getting in debate. I'm like, dude, I seen on my iPhone the picture of the fucking Earth on my iPhone every day. Was the default setting on iPhone. It was
Right.
the default setting.
Yeah.
It was. I saw it every day. I never even bothered to put my own picture in there. You know, like it was the picture of the Earth from fucking space. It's round. It's a ball. The fuck are you talking about, right? So then we get in an argument, and I go home. I'm like, and then we're texting, and like, dude, what the fuck are you, dude? You're really disappointing me, right? So I get on, you know, and at this point, I already believed that the moon missions were faked at this point. I already had zero trust in NASA. I thought at that point that NASA was in charge of the moon missions and like space shuttle. That's it. Like that was NASA. I didn't know what NASA really was. I didn't know that they were in charge of all space information since 1958 when they were formed by Nazis, by Werner von Braun. He was the head.
Yeah.
You know, so I knew we didn't go to the moon, but I didn't think that had anything to do with the Earth being round or flat or whatever. I had no idea. So as I'm trying to prove to him, I'm like, I'm just gonna punch in on Google, picture of Earth from space, and then send it to his ass. And as soon as that came up, saw a lot of pictures, and I thought, well, these kind of look like a little cartoonish. Then I started hitting links and like flat Earth links and all this stuff. I'm like, what? And then really quick, I started following these pictures to the NASA.gov website. I'm like, NASA is putting out these pics? The guys that faked the moon mission? Like, oh no, there's a problem here. So then when you look at NASA.gov and they tell you they're CGI pictures. They tell you they're composites. And then they said, yeah, you know what? Because we do have one real picture, but all the rest of them are taken from strips of data that we put together, and we get a fucking artist to get their rendition based on these strips of data from these satellites, right? And I'm thinking, oh no, we got a fucking problem here.
And there we were napping with a family of rabbits. So far down.
So anyways, once I look into the time, like when was NASA created? Like 1959. I'm like, dude, all our space information is coming from fucking NASA, which is a Nazi propaganda machine. Mm-hmm. Werner von Braun was the director of all 6 moon missions, and he's a fucking Nazi. Is that not a comic book? That's a fucking comic book.
Here's the thing, Eddie. We got to
Come
wrap
on,
it
that's
up.
like Batman and shit.
So we got to.
You need to volunteer for the Mars missions, dude.
Dude, I'm telling you, bro. I
You're
love
gonna
you. This
report
is all
back.
love.
Yeah.
We need to pick a video.
Do you
because
believe we went to the moon?
I do.
Okay, then there's no way you're gonna believe in flat Earth. So if
Do I
Is there a
believe
video
that
you
Hollywood
watch?
could fake something like that? Of course. Of course.
so think about all the shit the government has done.
Oh,
And all
there's-
the shit- think
I
about-
question everything
think
for the
about-
most
Think
part.
about all the lies, the media, all
Oh,
the shit.
yeah,
on Trump.
absolutely.
Think about all the lies, every conspiracy. Think about all that shit, and then think about.
But everything's not a lie to me.
No.
Right.
I know. Okay, let's equate. Think about all the stuff. Think about all this. We're not in a hurry, are we?
Yeah, we do.
We have to
They have
leave?
another.
This is garbage. No,
What time-
are they going to kick Eddie and
What
I out of the
What time?
studio?
Well, real quick. What do I have? What do I have? 5 minutes?
They're trying to shut us
How
down.
long do I have? 5
we
minutes?
own
2
this.
minutes.
We
2
own
minutes.
this
Listen.
studio.
Just think
I
about
could
this.
take you
Think about
guys.
this.
Come on,
Think
man.
about all
Let
the
me-
lies.
Let me get a shot at you too.
Think
right?
about
now.
all the
got
lies.
hair,
2 on
man.
1.
You
Let's
got a
do
lot of
this.
hairs.
Think about all the lies, and then think about all the lies in science. Think about I believe that in the science of an iPhone. You know why? Because I don't have to read a report that says the iPhones work. I don't have to read a report. I know iPhones work, so I believe in the science. I believe in the science of cars. When I don't have to read somewhere a science team it says the cars actually roll and they work and they turn on. I know that for myself, so I believe in that science. I believe in science of skyscrapers because I see them. People are in there. It's not collapsing. I believe in that science.
Now, why don't you-
But
think
they're-
about-
but they're
think about-
not
no,
real.
Hold on.
They're not
Think
real.
about. Hold on.
not
Think about the science that's been bullshit.
gotta listen to
Think
this.
about that.
Hold on,
Hold
stop.
on. Let me fucking finish. Think about.
We got 7 minutes.
Think about the science that is bullshit.
Here we go.
But none of that stuff
uh,
exists. None of that
What?
stuff you mentioned exists.
What do you mean nothing exists?
None of that stuff exists. Nothing that we know that we hold to be true exists.
in sense
Not
of
planets,
law.
not cars, not skyscrapers, not mountains, not oceans. None of it exists.
What is this? A
All of those-
Explain.
I believe
all of-
you. I don't
all-
know why, but I do.
All of those,
explain.
all of those things are spinning particles, strong and weak nuclear forces, electromagnetivity, magnetivity that's representing itself in your brain is
I
real.
get it.
But without a human nervous system, none of those things are
I
real.
get- no, I
so
get
you
that.
can't trust your eyes.
I get that.
You're living in a universe
No,
that you are
I
creating
get-
as we
you
sit
can't
here.
trust shit. I understand that. But think about, I believe in
trust me.
science. I believe in science that I can prove for myself. But think about
Science
all the
doesn't
bullshit.
believe in
Tobacco science, bullshit, right? Tobacco science, bullshit. Marijuana science. Remember all that marijuana science?
Right.
Sugar science. What about, remember all the lies in sugar science?
Right.
So think about the science, the vaccine lies. Think about all the lies there.
absolutely.
Vaccine lies, marijuana lies for decades, tobacco lies, tobacco science, sugar science. So we know, okay, now, before we believe in science, we need some real proof. We can't take anybody's word for science unless we can prove it ourselves. You're not going to go to jail if you don't believe we went to the
But
moon.
yet-
You're not going to get a big tax break if you believe we went to the moon. So there's no reason. If
But-
they said we're going to go to the moon, you're going to go to jail if you don't believe in the moon landings. I go, we went to the fucking moon.
But
if
yet-
they said we're going to give you a $2,000 refund every year if you sign something that says we went to the moon, I'm like, we went to the fucking moon. We went to the moon.
But yet,
you don't
real
get any of that
science-
shit.
But yet, real science, accurate science, doesn't believe in science either.
I believe
when,
that.
when you're actually engaged in the scientific process, you take nothing for granted. You don't try to prove anything. You're just merely on a quest. You're seeking to be awake to what is out there. So whenever someone starts banging really loudly and posturing, that's a really good time to not listen.
This has got to be a part two, guys.
Hey, listen, I'd rather be thought of as an idiot for not
nobody
trusting the
thinks you're an
government than a
Nobody thinks you're
traitor
an
for
idiot.
defending them. Remember that shit. It's better to be
Right.
thought as an idiot for. People
Yeah.
think I'm an idiot for not
Nobody
trusting the
thinks
government.
you're an
No,
idiot.
Well, a
no.
lie
No,
is
no,
a
no.
lie,
Trust-
whether
I would
Trust
never
me.
think you're an idiot.
I didn't say you thought I was an idiot. I'm just saying
I don't think
people
you're an
out
idiot.
there,
I don't think
people
you're an
think I would rather be thought as a moron for not trusting criminals than a fucking sellout and a traitor for defending them.
The reality
the
is-
things that come out of your mouth, are you saying something that a defense attorney would say, or are you saying something that a prosecuting attorney would say? When it comes to the government, that criminal, that's like John Gotti. I'm saying shit that a prosecuting attorney would say, not saying shit like, "We'll prove it. We'll prove it." It's a criminal.
No.
They need to prove. You
I
need
agree.
to. You need to prove without a doubt. Whatever's coming from the government, I need some I need the kind of fucking evidence that would just shut down a case. If I don't see the evidence, why would I believe it? For what? What benefit do I get in believing we went to the moon? What benefit? Is it going to benefit me? Dude, you've been fucking fooled. Everyone's been fooled. Think about all the lies. The lies go deep. You know what people think, like, oh, flat earth and the moon landing, that's a distraction from the real conspiracy theories? That's what I used to think. You know what I think? I think those conspiracy theories, the mainstream conspiracies, are a distraction for the real conspiracy, where we're on, what
leave it
we're
there.
on. They're trying to keep God from us. They're trying to keep the creator from us. They're making us insignificant when this is a special fucking place, Ron. Who knows what shape it is? But you know what? Water doesn't fucking curve. Water doesn't curve. Water stays level. Water is level. Water doesn't curve. So you're telling me gravity is strong enough to hold oceans onto it, battling inertia from the spin, so gravity's holding oceans, inertia's trying to pull it out and make it fling. Skyscrapers would fling off the earth from inertia, but this gravity's holding these. It's so strong, it's holding these, but it can't hold a fucking helium balloon. Helium balloon goes up. The conspiracy theory about gravity, and I'm not making this up, is that it isn't gravity what holds things down, it's density that holds things down. Because if gravity, the reason why a helium balloon rises is because it's lighter than the air around it. Why does a rock go down to the bottom of the ocean, but a tennis ball doesn't? Because the air is not as dense as the water. Things that are less dense go up. Things that are more dense go down. Has nothing to do with gravity. Where's gravity at with butterflies? You would think that if the gravity's so strong it's holding fucking skyscrapers down to it, that we would be flat. We would be flat on the ground. But that doesn't make any sense.
I'm just going to say one weird thing. The moon is a very interesting thing. Have you ever looked into the moon? We did a
Yes.
whole episode on the moon. It stays perfect in its rotation.
And you only see one face.
And it's
front face.
It's
It never
bigger than
spins.
Pluto, and it should not be able to stay in our gravitational force. I look. I'm gonna say, look into it. I would love to show the videos. We got another thing coming in.
No, we're good.
I had a great time. I
Hey,
love that you
Sam,
came.
thank you.
I'm a huge fucking fan, and I'm honored that you even came.
Awesome.
on.
You know,
It's a
anybody,
pleasure to meet
anybody,
you.
listen, there's a lot of disinformation out there on Flat Earth. That's another thing. There's disinfo.
You got it
agents.
going, man. You got it
Listen,
going.
listen.
We can do a whole one next time you're in,
Just
dude.
listen. Go to YouTube and look up Eric Dubé. That's the only guy you need to listen to. Don't listen to anybody else. Just Eric Dubé. That's all you need. He'll break it down for you.
Go hear Eddie Bravo June 1st at Cobb's and June 2nd at the Sacramento
Both of us.
Punchline. Me and my homeboy Eddie Bravo.
Tinfoil
I'm
comedy
honored
night.
that you were on the show.
Thank you, Sam.
Ryan, you were awesome. Dave, your podcast, We Are All Superman.
We are Superman.
We Are Superman. Check it out. You guys are great. We'll see you on Monday. Should be great. What a great show this was.
5-star reviews, guys.
5-star reviews. Take care, everybody. Bye.